Let's be honest. We all do it, but we rarely like to admit it. Today, we're diving into the fascinating mechanics of deception. Why do our brains lie, and what does it actually say about us? So, let me ask you, do you think of yourself as an honest person? I mean, of course you do, right? Most of us would say yes, in a heartbeat. But the actual data on how we interact with each other tells a surprisingly different story. Get this, 3. According to research by psychologist Robert Feldman, that's the average number of lies people tell within the first 10 minutes of meeting someone new. Not per day, not per hour, just 10 minutes. That's a pretty wild statistic when you stop and think about it. All right, section 1, our daily deceptions. Here we're going to explore how these little falsehoods are less of a moral failing and actually more of a social survival skill you're using all the time. You see, most of these daily lies are what we call white lies. Our brain kind of defaults to them as a tool to maintain what psychologists call social safety. Because let's be real, total brutal honesty all the time can feel like a threat. It can disrupt social harmony. So we use these little deceptions to kind of grease the wheels and keep things running smoothly. Okay, on to section 2, an evolutionary superpower. This is where we're going to see that the ability to lie isn't some bug in our human software, it's a feature. And believe it or not, it's directly linked to our intelligence. It's true. Far from being some simple, lazy act, deception is a sign of really advanced cognitive function. Scientists even see it as a key milestone in a child's development. It takes some serious brain power to pull off a successful lie. And this brain power all hinges on an incredible skill called theory of mind. It's simply the understanding that what I know is different from what you know. For instance, to tell a colleague you're busy, you first have to understand that they don't know your calendar is totally wide open. That separation of knowledge is theory of mind in action, and it's like playing a complex game of mental chess.
And this really highlights a major evolutionary leap. In the animal kingdom, deception is usually physical, a chameleon's camouflage, an insect mimicking a leaf. But for us humans, who survive by navigating these incredibly complex social groups, our deception became psychological. We learned how to literally create and manage false realities in the minds of other people.
So we know we all lie, but why? In section 3, the liar's playbook, we're going to break down the 3 core motivations behind our dishonesty.
It turns out almost all lies fall into one of these 3 categories. The most common is self-protection, like saying the traffic was terrible to avoid getting blamed. Then there's self-gain, like maybe exaggerating a little on a resume. And finally, you have the altruistic lie, the one you tell to protect someone else's feelings, like, oh yeah, that haircut looks great on you. But all this deception, it comes at a cost. In our next section, The Brain on Lies, we're going to see the high cognitive price we pay for being dishonest. Bottom line, telling a lie is mentally exhausting. It creates what neuroscientists call cognitive load. Just think of it like running way too many programs on your computer at once. It slows everything down, and it burns a massive amount of energy.
So why is it so draining? Well, it's because your brain has to do 2 really demanding things at the exact same time. First, it has to actively suppress the truth. And while it's doing that, it also has to invent and consistently maintain a false reality. That is an incredible amount of mental work.
And when that cognitive load is overwhelming, the brain just can't keep all those plates spinning, so it starts to leak these behavioral clues. You might see unnatural pauses in speech as the brain is scrambling for the lie, or maybe the person avoids direct eye contact, fidgeting, touching their face, telling a story with details that just don't add up. These are all physical signs of a brain under a lot of strain. Now, all of this describes the average person's brain when it's struggling with a lie. But what happens when lying isn't a strain? What if it's the default? This brings us to the professional liar, where deception isn't a tool, it's a state of being. You see, for most of us, lying is goal-oriented. It serves a clear purpose. But for a pathological liar, the lying is the purpose. It's a compulsion that often has no clear benefit and results in these unbelievably complex and elaborate falsehoods. And this isn't just a psychological difference, it's neurological. Studies show that pathological liars often have more white matter in their prefrontal cortex. Think of white matter as the brain's internal high-speed internet cabling. Having more of it might just make them better at connecting unrelated ideas to weave these intricate lies, and often they can do it without the guilt that would normally stop the rest of us. As we start to wrap up, I think this one idea really captures it all. Deception isn't a flaw in our design, it's a feature of our intelligence, and it's a powerful testament to the social adaptability of our brains.
And that leaves us with one final provocative question to think about. If a world of complete, unfiltered honesty would just be one of constant conflict and hurt feelings, does that make the humble white lie not a failing, but maybe a social virtue? Something to ponder. Thanks for watching.